receivers, and Hunter Goodwin is the tight end. Chan Gailey, offensive coordinator, upstairs looking on. The give is to Smith, tries the outside, has a first down across midfield and into Jets territory. The Jet defense. Sean Ellis and John Abraham on the outside. Shane Burton, Steve Martin on the inside.
Look at the Jet linebackers, what they've got to do today. Be aggressive, come up to the line of scrimmage, and stop the runner.
And in the defensive secondary, Aaron Glenn and Marcus Coleman, big responsibilities on the outside. Damian Robinson and Victor Green are the safeties. Defensive coordinator of the Jets, Ted Cottrell, looking on. Double tight ends into the game now for Miami. Lamar Smith off the right side behind Harry Swain, close to the Jet 45.
Terrible sign if you're a Jet fan.
Except 16 yards for the Dolphins so far. Play fake. Fiedler throws outside, has his man, and that is complete. So Rondé Gadsden, that's enough for a first down inside the Jet 35-yard line.
Well, that was Rondé Gadsden going against Marcus Coleman. We talked to Rondé last night. Friends with Marcus Coleman. Sees him during the offseason. Play a little basketball together. And two of the bigger, maybe the biggest opponent Rondé will see all year is Marcus Coleman at about 6'2", 225 pounds.
And we welcome those of you who've been watching the game between Baltimore and Green Bay, won by the Packers. This handoff to Lamar Smith, trying the right side, inside the Jet 30 to about the 27-yard line. And those of you just joining us, the Dolphins have taken the opening kickoff and primarily on the ground have moved the ball now into pretty good field position into New York Jet territory.
Well, you got to talk about the New York Jets run defense. That's what it's about. They are last in the NFL stopping the run. And we talked to Herman Edwards at length about it. Linebackers got to be more aggressive, get up to the line of scrimmage. But the biggest problem up front, they just don't have the athletes or the size to be physical enough to stop the run, I think.
On 2nd and 3, this one will go nowhere as Eric Obagu wraps up Lamar Smith in the backfield for no gain, and it'll be 3rd and 3.
Well, the Jets, they play every defensive lineman. They switch them out. 99, Obagu just comes down the line of scrimmage, gets there before Smith can get in there and bully his way for a couple of yards. But the Jets, they've got to sell out. They've got to take chances. In the NFL, you cannot let the other team physically dominate you up front. You usually can't win those type of games.
Dolphins go with 5 wide receivers on 3rd and 3. Quick pass, far side, complete, will go nowhere. Chris Chambers made the catch, and the Jet defense was right there. Aaron Glenn was the first one there, loss of a yard on the play.
Miami, conservative on offense. They usually are. 3rd and 3. They love to throw screen plays. Aaron Glenn sees it quick. Watch the reaction. Comes up and beats the block by the wide receiver to make the tackle.
And on this 8th play of the drive, the Dolphins will go for it on 4th down from the Jet 28-yard line. They need to reach the 24 for a first down. Fiedler still has it. Throws, complete. That's enough for the first down to tight end Jed Weaver.
No hesitation by the Dolphins. Situations like this, you know, Greg, Chan Gailey, the offensive coordinator, he probably knew in his mind they've run the football well. So far in this game, if you're a Jet defensive player, you know they're not going to run the football in a situation like that. The play action gets Weaver wide open.
So now Miami, first down at the Jet 21. 9th play of the drive. Here comes Lamar Smith again, dancing through the right side to the 15.
You know, that play there just illustrates the difference and why the Jets are last in run defense. Greg, we talk about it all the time. When you're a running back in this league, you get a chance, maybe, to make a move. Lamar made about 3 that time. couldn't decide where to go. Finally picked a hole and picked up some good yards.
2nd and 4. Conrad and Smith in the backfield behind Fiedler. Here's Smith again. Bounces off tacklers, spins inside the 15 to about the 12. Aaron Glenn coming up to make the stop. Talked about the difficulty that the Jets have had on defense. Last in the NFL.
Miami 5th in the NFL in running the football. Coming into this game, this is not a matchup that favors the New York Jets, of course. It's like your worst nightmare. They can't stop the run and face one of the better running teams in the league.
Fiedler keeps it.
Okay, Larry.
Make that Ray Lucas. Ray Lucas in at quarterback. And onto the field now comes Fiedler, and a little reaction to the ex-New York Jet, Ray Lucas.
Yeah, he had a few words to say about the New York Jets organization, but Greg, that's the clue. When you hear the boos, you know Ray Lucas is going in today. But on third downs in quite a few situations, you will see Ray Lucas come in. They got a package for him. Quarterback sneaks, some option, draw, and a few passes too.
Smith and Conrad behind Fiedler. Here's Lamar Smith. Right side, met by 3 or 4 Jets and thrown back to the 14. Marvin Jones led the charge.
Well, at this pace, this game is going to be over by 5 o'clock today. We're near 7 minutes to go in the first quarter, and this is the opening drive. But when you get down inside the 20, the Jets should be better at stopping the run. Defensive backs don't have to cover as much ground against the pass. They can come up and help the linemen with the tackle.
Ted Cottrell and Herman Edwards have made numerous changes in that front 4 of the New York Jets. Fiedler throws wide open at the 5, and to the 2-yard line is Hunter Goodwin.
And, you know, the first thing I want to say here is you watch it. Hunter Goodwin wide open. And one of the reasons why he's so wide open, when you're so concerned with stopping the run, you play zones in the NFL. In a zone, what that means is defenders always keeping your eyes into the backfield, watching the runner. So when you're doing that, receivers find the open holes. Quarterbacks and receivers are too good in this league now to play that way against them.
That's middle linebacker Marvin Jones. Now let's go back and see what happened to him.
Marvin Jones, number 55, comes in to make the hit. Ooh. He just gets in a bad position to hit a big. Hunter Goodwin is a big tight end.
And here comes Ray Lucas onto the field for 3rd and short from the 1-yard line.
Well, this is interesting. If you remember, I don't know if a lot of fans will know, Chan Gailey was in Pittsburgh when they created Cordell Stewart and Slash, and he's trying to carry that same theme over here. He just wants to make sure that the opposing team has to spend about a half hour to an hour each week getting ready for, a few plays, and it is trouble for the opposing team.
This has been an 8.5-minute drive by the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, and Dave Wannstedt, he must be just smiling. He loves this type of game when his team can run the football and just dominate the. Well, heck.
Okay, he's smiling on the inside.
Any coach would like this. I mean, who am I kidding? But I'm just trying to think, what would Ray Lucas do here now? Quarterback sneak, of course. To run the option, to me, would be too risky from the 1-yard line. I'm going to guess he's just going to hand the ball off to Lamar Smith right up the middle.
3rd and goal. Lamar Smith didn't get to the end zone. Loose football. The Jets say they have it.
He's got it.
The Jets are indicating that they have recovered a fumble. And they have.
It's a good job by the Jets defensive line. They stopped the Miami offensive line from coming off the football. And who else? John Abraham, 94, causes the fumble.
We welcome those of you who have been watching the game between Cleveland and Cincinnati, won by the Bengals 24-14. Just moments ago, from the beginning of the game, the Dolphins took the ball, drove to the Jet 1-yard line. John Abraham forced the fumble from Lamar Smith, and the Jets have recovered.
The Jets win last week in Buffalo. John Abraham and Mo Lewis almost single-handedly won the game for him because of turnovers.
The give is to Curtis Martin, straight up the middle to about the 5-yard line. Vinny Testaverde quarterbacking the New York Jets. 4-0 against the Miami Dolphins as a member of the Jets. As you look at his numbers on the season, led the league in interceptions a year ago with 25, is now the only starting quarterback in the league who has yet to throw one.
We'll talk about that, some of the reasons why, Greg, that he has cut his interceptions down. Vinny Testaverde, over the injury, lighter and better shape. That all those reasons help you become a better decision maker on the field too.
Martin again. Martin with running room out to the 10 and will be close to a first down at about the 11-yard line.
The New York Jets, the best part of this football team is their offensive line. Together for 3 years, they can do everything.
In the backfield with Martin is Richie Anderson, Coles and Krebet the wideouts, and Anthony Beck is the tight end. Offensive coordinator Paul Hackett upstairs watches as the Jets now work on first down at the 11-yard line.
We had some fun with him out at Jets training camp, or really with Herman Edwards, the mad scientist he called him, and he meant it in good terms.
Testaverde is going to go down at the 5-yard line. 6th time this season Vinny Testaverde has been sacked. Thomas and Greenwood in on him for a loss of 6.
This is the difference. Here comes Greenwood. Here comes Thomas. Zach Thomas is always the chaser. He's the second blitzer almost in everything. But the difference in the Miami defense this year over last year is this. They will attack the quarterback more. They take more chances, trying to create turnovers and get situations like this, 2nd and long.
2nd and 16. Here is Martin. And let's check that Miami Dolphin defense. It is tough on the front line. Mixon, Bowens, Gardner, Jason Taylor.
The linebackers, Zach Thomas and his 2 friends, they've got to stop Curtis Martin today.
And a fast and very sticky-fingered secondary. Surtain, Brock Marion, Brian Walker, and Sam Madison. The man in charge of the Miami defense, Jim Bates. 3rd and 15. Curtis Martin across the 10 and back to about the original line of scrimmage. It'll be 4th down. The Jets will kick it away. We'll kick it over to Jim Nantz in New York City.
All right, thank you, Greg. This just in from Foxborough. Little Brady magic at the end at Foxborough. Not Flutie magic. New England comes back from 10 down with 3.5 to play. Wins it in overtime. Vinatieri from 44 yards. New England over San Diego. Let's go back to Greg and Phil.
All right, Jim, what do we say every week about this time, Phil? You just can't trust anybody in the National Football League.
Kind of how I feel about you, Greg. I never trust you.
And I taught you that.
Yeah, that's right.
Tom Tupa to kick it out of his own end zone. Kick to the near side of the field. This is Ogden. Ogden to midfield and brought down at the Jets 49, maybe the 48-yard line. James Darling on the stop. We have 3 minutes to play in the first quarter of a scoreless game.
We are a company of Americans.
Greg Gumbel along with Phil Simms. The conversation around New York has always been this week. Can that Jet defensive line hold up and stop a running game? They withstand down at the 1-yard line, and now back come the Dolphins again.
Yeah, the Dolphins manhandle them up front, Greg. They drive down the field. They really stop, not disaster, but to fall behind 7-0, and by the Dolphins just running the football right down the field would emotionally make it very tough on the Jets, too.
From the Jet 49. Fiedler throws far side of the field, has his man. That's Chris Chambers, and Chambers inside the 25 to the 23-yard line.
Well, this is what happens when you put everybody up to stop the run. You're going to get single coverage on the outside, and the difference in the Miami Dolphins this year over last year is this right here. Now they have better wide receivers. Jay Fiedler in his second year of starting, and Chambers wide open against Aaron Glenn. And you can see Chris Chambers is some physical presence.
Aaron Glenn told us he talks to his friend Ty Law, and he says, watch number 84. He's really fast.
He's fast, he's good, and he plays big.
Lamar Smith to about the 20. Mo Lewis and Marvin Jones, who is back in the lineup, made that stop. And we're looking at a 2nd and 8. And we welcome those of you who watched the New England Patriots knock off San Diego in overtime, 29-26. Along with Phil Simms and Armin Katayan, Greg Gumbel at Giant Stadium. We are scoreless. The Dolphins threatening for the 2nd time today. Smith to the outside, trying to turn the corner, dragged down at about the 15-yard line. Marcus Coleman up from his cornerback position to make the stop. And it'll be 3rd and short.
You know, little things make you a really good running team in the National Football League. Receivers blocking down the field, and having a running back like Lamar Smith. Not fancy, doesn't catch your eye. At the end of the game, you look, that run just illustrated everything. Looks like a 2 or 3 yard gain. His power, the straight arm, everything now puts the Dolphins in really good situation, 3rd and short.
He carried 29 times for 144 yards in the win over New England last week. 3rd and 2. Fiedler still has it. Throws back this way. He screened. 1st down and more. Touchdown, Miami.
It's like clockwork. Almost every game I've watched of the Miami Dolphins, when they're in the opponent's red zone, they throw screens. Everybody in the league usually does it the opposite, but they are tremendous at it. Nice fake by Lamar Smith, and only one person to beat in the open field. Tough job for Marvin Jones to tackle Lamar Smith in the open field.
Jay Fiedler, 6 out of 6 for 66 yards and a touchdown. Olindo Mare adds the extra point.
Well, what a call and what execution.
Screen pass to Lamar Smith has the Dolphins on top by a touchdown. Breaks outside and finally run out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. Fine return, good field position for the New York Jets. 26 yards for Craig Hughes. Or your AOL keyword, NFL.com. The Jets 1st down from their own 44, and time of possession clearly in the Dolphins' favor thus far. Curtis Martin off the left side. A pickup of 3, 2nd and 7. When we talked with Dave Wanstedt, we said, well, you know, what do you think about going up against the Jets? What's in the foremost part of your thoughts? And he said, Curtis Martin, Curtis Martin, Curtis Martin.
And I understood it too.
Yes.
You know, I did. But you look at the Jets, they do a lot of good things on offense. Quarterback, no interceptions. They run it well. What they need, big plays. Somebody catch a short pass and make a big play out of it. That's what they don't have.
Richie Anderson flanked as a wide receiver. The pass is complete. Close to the 40. Lavernius Foles has enough for a 1st down, still on his feet. And time winds down here in the 1st quarter. So the Jets trail, but finish the 1st quarter on a positive note. They are on the move. 7-0 Miami. We'll be back for the start of the 2nd quarter after this.
Yes, is sponsored by Visa. It's everywhere NFL fans want to be. And by your neighborhood 7-Eleven store. Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven.
Look at the Jets sideline as we begin the 2nd quarter. The ball at the 39-yard line of the Miami Dolphins. Miami, they've had the ball most of the time. They have most of the yardage gain. Deep drop for Testaverde. Throws this side right through the hands of Richie Anderson. And let's check in with Armin Katayan. Armin.
Thanks, Greg. You know, there was so much made of that 40-37 midnight miracle win by the Jets last year that Dave Wanstedt decided he was going to make something of it too this week. he had an edited version of the tape of that game ready to show his team on Wednesday, and then he thought better of it. You know, he said, we've lost to these guys 6 times in a row. It's a huge national game. It's a division rival. You know what? We don't need this tape. Toss it in the can. Showed his team a better way to do it. They seem to be playing pretty well right now. Back to you.
All right, Armin, thank you. Curtis Martin on the handoff tries to reverse his field and forward to about the 37-yard line.
Yeah, that was a case in point that Dave Wannstedt wanted to be clever with his team. You know, when you're a head football coach and you're around guys all the time, you like to come up with ways to motivate them every now and then. And he just goes, who am I kidding? My guys hate the Jets. I don't need to say anything except it's the Jets. We've lost 6 in a row, and let's go. And that's all they needed.
3rd and 8 for the Jets. Both Martin and Anderson in the backfield. Testaverde loses the football. Randy Thomas recovered for the Jets.
Saved the touchdown, Randy Thomas did. Good hustle by him. Patrick Surtain comes on the blitz. He's going to come to the top of the screen. Here comes Zach Thomas, always the second blitzer. Causes the fumble, and Surtain is going to pick it up and run for a touchdown. But Randy Thomas, alert, hustles, stops it.
Patrick Surtain was seeing himself on the highlight reels tonight. Tom Tupa set to kick it away. And Jeff Ogden is deep. Ogden, fair catch at the 11. 13 and a half minutes to play here in the first half. The Dolphins with a 7-0 lead. Smith.
6 passes every once in a while. That's like 3/4 of work for Jay Fiedler. They do not throw the ball wildly down in Miami, that's for sure.
Going to throw it here. Pulls it down, and he goes down, and the marker is down. 91 is Steve Martin. Sean Ellis was also there. Our referee today is Walt Coleman. Face mask against the Jets.
Personal foul, too. 15 yards. Let's see if we can do a good job. Blitz by the Jets. 5 rushers coming. They've got to pressure the quarterback. It looks like Steve Martin, 91, is the guy that gets the hand up there, does not let go.
Personal foul, grasping and twisting the face mask. 91, defense, 15 yards, automatic, first down.
Well, it's got to be frustrating. The Jets having trouble stopping the run. They finally throw it on first down in Miami. They guess right. They're rushing the passer. They get there, and just unfortunate that Steve Martin grabbed the face mask.
Moves the ball to the 21-yard line. First down, Miami. The pitch for Smith. And Smith stood up after about a yard gain or so. It'll be 2nd and 9. Shane Burton made the stop.
You know, I want to go back to Jay Fiedler, Greg. We were just talking about him. And I asked him last night, well, Miami's going to go in a little hurry up here. Calling the play from the line of scrimmage so the Jets cannot substitute any defensive players.
Fiedler, little pass to Smith. Smith reverses field. The play gains only a couple of yards. We'll call it a 3-yard pickup, and they're looking at a 3rd and 6.
Well, what I was going to say about Jay Fiedler, I asked him last night, I said, do you ever have a problem with the play call and the fact that if the game goes right for Miami, he's going to throw no more than 25 times? He goes, no, I do not have a problem with our style. And usually when a quarterback tells me that, down deep, I don't believe him because I know they want to throw it. But with him, I can see that he's sincere. He just wants to play. He's glad to get the opportunity. And whatever it takes to win makes him feel good.
The rookie Travis Minor is in the lineup. Fiedler over the middle, has his man. That's enough for a first down. And the ex-Jet Dedrick Ward makes the catch for the first down for Miami.
Well, Miami, I said earlier in the telecast, watch the Jet defenders. Look at them dropping back. You can see they're looking at the quarterback and look at the space. Receivers and quarterbacks too good to play that way against them in this league.
And now Lamar Smith and Rob Conrad back in the game, and here's Smith. Right side to the 40. Bears repeating that the right tackle is the new right tackle for the Miami Dolphins, Harry Swain, and they went right off of his block on the right side.
They did. Greg, I just want to show you. You see when there's two safeties deep, Jay Fiedler will run it. When they bring one up, he'll throw it. That's what they're doing right now.
Second and 4. Fiedler, screen. Smith looking for a first down, dives for the marker. And depending on where they spot it, he'll either have it or be very close.
And I would think the Miami Dolphins probably have about 10 plays they're using in this offense. They call it a check with me where Jay Fiedler would walk up the line of scrimmage, call the play, and they'll try to execute it from there.
Ray Lucas is in the game at quarterback, and Dion Dyer in at running back with Travis Minor. Dion Dyer, as you will probably see at some point today, is a heck of a lead blocker out of the backfield. Third and short. Fake. Lucas going to throw over the middle. Hits his man. Chambers inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
Now, you know, it's a tremendous play, but I got to go, well, why didn't you just let Jay Fiedler do this? Ray Lucas, it is a nice throw. He sticks it in there. Chris Chambers going across the field, and what a tough job by Ray Lucas, and what a tremendous job. But look at Chris Chambers run. Tough job. That's a tough task for Aaron Glenn to try to cover Chris Chambers one-on-one all over the field in a short yardage situation.
Lamar Smith getting some rest. Travis Minor is in at running back, and he takes the pitch. Going to try the left side. Breaks through. 15, 10, 5, touchdown. The rookie out of Florida State scores his first NFL touchdown.
Well, I actually had a laugh last night with Dave Wanstead. He says, I got to get this Travis Minor to gain more. He's a good change-up, and I said, sure you will. Because I thought, well, Lamar Smith does so well. How do you take him out and put this kid in? But look at it. Even though he's not big, he runs strong. He has the speed. He can break tackles and make big plays.
Mare. Extra point is good. Just under 9.5 minutes to play in the first half. Travis Minor gets a pat on the helmet and his first NFL touchdown. Halftime report. The kickoff is going to chase Craig Yeast back deep into the end zone, and he will let it bounce through and out. So the Jets will get a start from their own 20-yard line. Travis Minor, remember, the Dolphins got a lift from a face guard that took them out of the shadows of their own goalpost. This game thus far would be an understatement. Kind of surprised that they're only up 14-0. They fumbled at the 1-yard line on the opening drive of the game. Quick pass, Lavernius Bowles. Bowles is wrestled down at about the 23-yard line. A pickup of 3 on the play, and let's check in with Armin.
Greg, I just witnessed one of those things that Herm Edwards told us he had changed this week. He brought all his defensive coaches down on the sidelines. He said the reason for it was situations just like what we just saw. A big mistake by his defense. He likes his coaches here to coach the defense up after a mistake to reassure them that things are correctable. He just did that with James Ferrier and several other of his defensive players. Back to you.
All right, Armin, thanks. 3rd and 7, or 2nd and 7. Testaverde avoiding the blitz. Rolling, throws. Out of bounds, incomplete. Kevin Swain, number 82, the intended receiver. Phil, let's go back to that drive when Dave Wanstead inserted Ray Lucas in at quarterback, and then he connects with Chambers on a pass that you said, well, hey, Jay Fiedler could have just as easily thrown that. How about the potential to run that Lucas brought to the game?
Well, it's everything now. Jay Fiedler's a good runner too, Greg, but now let's go back to that. You're the Jet defense. Lucas hands it off. Now you know he can run the option, the quarterback sneak, and he'll throw it deep down the field. You're just guessing. Like us.
3rd and 7. Testaverde throws over the middle. That is incomplete. Penalty markers are down. Lavernius Coles was the intended receiver. Jamar Fletcher, the rookie out of Wisconsin, was the man covering. And it'll be against Miami.
Boy, Miami is coming out and being aggressive on both sides of the ball. They are after Vinny Testaverde with blitzes. He's moving to get away.
Holding, 24, defense. 5-yard penalty. Automatic, first down.
You know you got a pretty good defense. Jamar Fletcher, 24, against Lavernius Coles. You saw a little pull on the jersey. Not much. It did not affect the play, but the official saw it. It's a good call, but I was going to say, you know you got a good defense when your #1 draft pick, Jamar Fletcher, has a hard time even getting on the field as a defensive back. And when the Jets go to 3 and 4 wide receivers, he gets to come in the game.
Matthew Hatchett, number 81, is into the game as a wide receiver for the Jets. The give is to Martin. Martin dodging would-be tacklers out over the 30 to the 31-yard line. Lorenzo Bromell, Jason Taylor with the stop.
Now, Curtis Martin, it's one of the best trades in Jet history. Getting him from, not a trade, but acquiring him from the New England Patriots. He has been so successful here, so successful in his whole NFL career. And, Greg, we had a chance to talk to him before the season. He goes, I always look to get an edge on everybody with something different during the offseason. And I'll tell you what that was here in a second.
Quick pass to Curtis Martin in the flat. Still on his feet across the 35. And he'll be about 3 yards shy of a first down. Patrick Surtain coming up to make the stop. What is that, Edge?
Well, no, you remember what he told us 2 years ago. He was running stairs down in Florida. It's 100 degrees. He's going 30 stories up and 30 stories down. And this past year, you get about 6 weeks after your last mini camp from there to the start of training camp. He stayed out. The Jets, him and a few teammates were working out twice a day, simulating practices, doing extra conditioning and work, just so they would be a little bit ahead of everybody else with the training camp. And it has served Curtis Martin very well.
On third down, Testaverde throws over the middle, incomplete. His tight end, Anthony Beck, was wide open. It went right through his hands at the Miami 45-yard line.
Nice play call. The Jets have been running a lot in the 3rd and 3 situations. Perfect throw from Testaverde right through the hands of Anthony Beck. And he knows it. 14-0. You got to make every play, especially something like that. That's routine for a tight end in this league.
2 put a punt. Jeff Ogden is deep.
Short.
Little bounce. Penalty markers fly. Tapped by the Jets and down at the 35-yard line.
Hold it on white. Hold it on white.
That's only a 30-yard punt. And if you believe the pundits down below, they're saying holding on White.
I want you to imitate Walt Coleman. We saw him in the hallway walking up here before the game. What did he say? You said you're making fun of the way I talk, Greg? Did he say that?
He might have mentioned it.
He might have.
I believe he was referring to you, though. Well, Walt and his officials are discussing it.
You know, we would talk Armin.
Holding, 29 on the return team during the kick. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Well, that's what you call a Southern accent.
Excuse me, can you take Timmy?
CBS is sponsored by Domino's Pizza. Get the door. It's Domino's. The only motor oil that provides the most protection. Castrol GTX. Drive hard. And by WorldCom Generation D.
6:56 to play in the first half. Dolphins with the ball and a 2-touchdown lead at their own 25-yard line, and Jay Fiedler is still perfection on the day throwing the football. And they'll go back to the ground game. Lamar Smith tries the right side. The cutback isn't there. And we take a break from the Meadowlands and send it over to Jim Nantz in New York City.
All right, thank you, Greg. Brian Greasy with a sore throwing shoulder, and it's exposed right here. Reggie Tongue steps in. He'll go 55 yards with the run back. for the Seahawks on the first play of the second quarter. 17-0 Seattle. Back to Greg and Phil.
So the Seattle Seahawks rising up at home against the Broncos. Also today, the Tennessee Titans coming up with their first win of the season. 2nd and 8. Fiedler throws this side, incomplete. Coming up to make the play is Aaron Glenn on number 87, Dedrick Ward.
Well, good job by Aaron Glenn. Just recognizes the short drop by the quarterback, makes the break. When you do this, you better get a piece of the ball, because if he missed right there, Dedrick Ward's going to go for about 20 more yards. And Aaron Glenn, Marcus Coleman, for the Jets to do better on defense. They need outstanding days. That way they can gamble more at stopping the run.
Travis Minor back into the game on 3rd down. Little shovel pass to Minor, and here he comes. 35, 40, 45-yard line, 1st down, Miami.
Well, we've seen 2 screen plays by the Dolphins, 1 going for a touchdown. They do not play high-risk football. The shovel pass, Travis Minor getting the football. He can make it happen. And I don't mean to beat this to death, but Chan Gailey, when you're playing their teams, quarterback draws, reverses, and screens are in every single game plan.
I'm saying with the variety, Chan Gailey is pretty much emptying the bucket here in the first half. Here's the give to Smith, and Smith tripped up at about the line of scrimmage. So Jay Fiedler missed his first pass on that breakup by Dedrick Ward, and we were talking earlier about how he's got a whole bunch of tickets for this game, and
60 tickets, and a couple of them going to his parents, and his parents' names are Donna and Ken. There's Donna, of course. There's Ken, and now you can't see it. He has a bag of shirts and hats and clothes. When things start going bad for his son or the team, he changes because he wants to change the luck. So far, he's stayed in one outfit.
Fiedler still has. Rolling, looks for his receiver, hits his tight end just across midfield. That's Hunter Goodwin. Goodwin came into this game without a pass reception. I believe that's his 2nd one on the day.
And I got to go back, Greg. You know, I got a chance that we did the Miami-Oakland game a few weeks ago. And after the game, I just walking along, and I ran into Jay Fiedler's father. And it was hot in Miami, but it was a tight game. It was close. And his father was sweating. And I said, man, you had to work today, didn't you? It was work. He says, oh, I was moving, switching shirts. I was doing everything.
From the shotgun on 3rd and 5. Fiedler throws far side. Has his man. What a catch by Oronde Gadsden.
That's special right there. That's what it is. Oronde Gadsden, big receiver. What did he tell us last night? Him and Jay Fiedler have been working on this play. He's covered down the field. Jay Fiedler throws it behind him. The receiver stops, comes back. Oh, man, that is just perfect.
And Jay Fiedler says he likes that back shoulder pass because if the cornerback is anywhere near any good, he's not going to be able to see it. He's not going to be able to stop it.
Just can't do it. And Oronde Gadsden, of course, doesn't have great speed down the field. So sometimes he gets covered in those situations, but they throw it back shoulder. They use his size, and they make completions.
Here comes a reverse. And he looks like he wants to throw the ball. McKnight pulls it down instead and gets inside the 35 to the 33.
Now you can go back to what you said earlier. Now he is emptying the bag or the bucket or whatever that stupid phrase is. But
whatever he's doing it.
Yeah, the reverse, and I think you're right, Greg. It was a reverse pass, but the receivers were covered down the field. Oh, man, it's, well, not a surprise. Not a surprise after watching the game. I don't mean coming into the game it would be this lopsided.
On 2nd and 7, Lamar Smith dances to the left. And pulling him down is number 22, Damian Robinson.
One move too many, and Damian Robinson comes from his safety position to make the tackle.
Jay Fiedler was out there with the potential for a block.
Yeah, but he was hoping not to block. But here it's there. Now go forward. Instead, he goes for the big run, trying to make the big gain, and it backfires, and there's no gain.
And you're right. Number 98, Shane Burton, kind of put a lick on Jay Fiedler and made him wish he wasn't in the game.
And you realize that when you try to tackle or block a defensive lineman as a quarterback, all of a sudden you go, man, they really are big.
3rd and 7. Jet fans looking for their defense to make a stand. Screen. Minor. 30, 25. Inside the 21st down Dolphins.
They can screen with the best of them. And what they do so well, the offensive linemen go down to the ground when they go down the field.
2 minutes to play in a first half that has belonged totally to the Miami Dolphins.
My official. They have to go in the locker room and tear up those game plans and come up with some new ones.
Fiedler going to be dragged down, throws it away. Will that be a penalty?
The ball did not get past the line of scrimmage. There was a receiver there, but it didn't get that close to him, and I don't think Jay Fiedler was outside the pocket
No,
either.
he definitely wasn't.
Nope.
Here's Walt Coleman, 2nd down.
It is not intentional grounding. He was being pulled back when he was trying to throw the ball.
Well, it's watch Jay Fiedler. What they're saying is then Eric Obagu gets a hold of him. He would have got it there, except he was hard to throw at 20 yards when somebody's got a hold of you, and it's could have gone either way.
2nd and 10. Fiedler, quick pass, far side, complete. Inside the 10 is Gadsden, and appears to have enough for a first down. It'll be 1st and goal for the Dolphins.
Art McAtean just said from the field, he says, Jay Fiedler is throwing fastballs. This is as good as I've ever seen throw the football in all the Miami games I've done. But look at the respect, too far off of Rondé Gadsden. He doesn't have great speed. You're down inside the 20. You've got to play him tough. And Marcus Coleman stays off of him. But perfect day to throw, Greg. No wind. There's humidity in the air, and the football really grips well to a quarterback in these conditions.
Lamar Smith with Deion Dyer in front of him in the block. He follows Dyer. Only this one goes nowhere.
That's just, let me tell you, that's a sellout. 9 people trying to stop the run. And I talked about it earlier, the Jets might have to change their game plans. That's what I mean. On defense, you might have to gamble. You've put a lot of money and everything in your corners. It's the time where you got to just say, you guys got to do it.
This is the area of the field where Fiedler and the Dolphins have had great success lobbing one up for Rondé Gadsden, except he's up against a cornerback that's as big as he is in Marcus Coleman. Fiedler, little screen, and Lamar Smith can't hold on.
I don't know, but I think Miami might be the only team in the league that would ever think about throwing a screen from the 12-yard line. They do it almost every week, and it wasn't going to score that time, but it was going to give Lamar Smith a chance to make somebody miss and get near the end zone.
We have a timeout. 29 seconds to play in the first half, and we'll be right back.
On CBS is sponsored by the United States Army, an army of one, and by the U.S. Postal Service. The United States Postal Service is everywhere, so you can be anywhere.
Miami has been terrific today on 3rd down. They've converted 7 of 9 opportunities. They're 15 for 24 over the last 2 weeks.
Ooh. That's what if you want to be a running football team in the National Football League, you better be good at converting 3rd downs, because you're going to be in a lot of 3rd, 3, 4, and 5s.
Gadsden to the top of your screen, McKnight to the bottom. Fiedler with the screen to Lamar Smith, the 10, and dragged down at about the 8-yard line. You know, if they did it before, Phil, there's really no reason to think they wouldn't do it again.
I know, but the Jets more active, being more aggressive, and Jay Fiedler's going to let this clock run all the way down before they call timeout to kick a field goal.
Olindo Mare comes on. And now the timeout is called and stops the clock with 2 seconds to play. We'll be right back for the finish of the first half. That is, we're trying to figure out how the Jets have had the ball for 8 minutes. It doesn't feel that way. Olindo Mare will attempt to make it a 17-point lead at halftime for the Miami Dolphins. This is a 27-yard field goal attempt, and it is good. Time expires here in the first half, and in the first half, that
So, we dropped the ball on offense a couple times. And if you play that much defense and you let the offense get on the field, it's tough sledding. We got to do a better job second half.
Okay, Coach Greg.
All right, Armin, you think Herman total yards to 27. And we mentioned Lamar Smith with 69 total yards. He's 42 yards better than the entire Jet team.
Well, the Jets, Herman Edwards said something that I thought was very good going off at the end of the first half. A couple drop passes stopped the Jets' drives, and of course the face mask led to a Miami touchdown too. But you've got to overcome mistakes in football and overcome adversity. The Jets got to do that in the second half.
Jets get the football first. Here's Craig Yeast from the goal line. Newly signed this week. 15, 20, out to the 22-yard line. Brought down by Travis Minor, and we check in with Armin Katayan.
Thanks, Greg. I guess it's fair to say that Monday Night Miracle last year where the Jets came back from a 30-7 deficit in the fourth quarter is still very fresh in Dave Wannstedt's mind. He said the first half is the first half. We have got to be aggressive, and he said we have got to find a way to finish this thing. Back to you.
6-game winning streak on the line for the New York Jets against the Miami Dolphins. You look at the numbers on a very harassed Vinny Testaverde in the first half. Richie Anderson flanked as a wide receiver here on first down. And Testaverde going right to work in the air. Over the middle. Looked like it was tipped at the line and behind Wayne Corbett.
Daryl Gardner, number 92, got the tip. And look, I could tip some passes if I had arms that big. But Testaverde wide open across the field. Wayne Corbett is. Daryl Gardner not making any progress as far as rushing the quarterback. Does the best thing, raises his arms up, and Wayne Corbett goes. Man.
First time today he's been thrown to, and he said, he told us the other day that when he heard Herm Edwards and the West Coast offense were coming to New York, he was excited, but the opportunities just haven't been there. Anthony Beck, tight end, forward to about the 29, almost the 30-yard line. Moreland Greenwood making the stop. Greenwood, the rookie out of Syracuse and Miami's third-round draft pick. Wasn't he a bunch of fun to talk to last night?
He was. You're right, Greg. Making his second start, did very well last week against the New England Patriots, and he can do it all. Physical, can run, cover receivers, stop the running game when you run right at him, and a smart player, even though he's a rookie.
3rd and 2. Curtis Martin, lots of room to run on the right side. 40, 45, across midfield and into Miami territory. Run out of bounds by Brian Walker. A 25-yard pickup and a Jets first down.
So few teams in the National Football League even try to run the football in 3rd and 3 and less because they know they can't. But the Jets, they line up. Everybody knows they're going to run it. Miami knew it, and they still block it well enough to get Curtis Martin on the outside untouched for the big game. The Jets don't have to just throw the football every down. They got to make Miami think that, though, and they could spring some big runs.
Longest play on offense by the Jets today. Testaverde still has it. Time, throws, complete inside the 35-yard line to Corbett.
They are getting some receivers open down the field. And this offensive line, Jason Taylor one-on-one with Fabini, doesn't get near the quarterback. Wayne Corbett wide open again.
And on the sideline, Herman Edwards doing exactly what you said the Jets have to do, generate some offense here.
Man, they got to get the crowd back behind them. They got to get the defense feeling like they have a chance and a reason to play for here in the second half.
Arturo Freeman is in at safety as Brock Marion is helped to the sideline. Curtis Martin right side to the 30-yard line.
Man, Craig, the biggest thing is the strength of this Jets team is its offense, and especially its offensive line. They have got to come out and establish and be a big part of this game here in the second half.
Brock Marion was just helped to the Miami bench, and he was limping. There you see Marion, number 31, being worked on. The Jets with their deepest penetration of the day at the 30-yard line. Martin cuts it back 25 to about the 23-yard line.
Boy, nice blocking by the Jets up front. You're really giving Curtis Martin a chance to run up in there. Kerry Jenkins, Jason Fabini. The tight end Anthony Beck does a good job and lets Curtis Martin get to the safety before he has to worry about being tackled.
And Martin will get a breather now, and Lamont Jordan comes onto the field. The 22-yard line of the Miami Dolphins. Jordan, the rookie out of Maryland, and the Jets' second-round draft choice. You look at the numbers and how this possession is so different from the rest of the game. Testaverde down the sideline. Lavernius Coles makes the catch. Touchdown. He beat Sam Madison on the play on a perfect throw from Testaverde.
Herm Edwards said, big plays, we need more of them, but the guy that has the best chance of making those big plays is Lavernius Coles. Fast, tough, aggressive, and you saw all those on that reception from Testaverde.
Coles did not have much practice time this week. He was in question up until Friday with a sprained knee.
Well, some people thought that. The coaches never thought it was in question.
John Hall's kick is good. So the Jets doing what they have to do, coming out, taking the kickoff, getting on the board, 17-7, Miami. Coles on the receiving end of the 22-yard touchdown pass from Vinny Testaverde. Coles' second touchdown of the season, and the Jets are right back in this thing. It's 17-7. Chris Chambers is the deep man for Miami on the kick from John Hall. Chambers, the speedster, from the 4 to the 20 to the 30.
Gosh, he's big and strong.
And brought down by Ray Mickens. No one more cognizant about the Jets having come from behind last year than the Miami Dolphins. The 23rd of October, Wayne Corbett, a 24-yard touchdown pass from Testaverde to tie the game with just under 4 minutes to play. Miami scored, but Jumbo Elliott, the 3-yard TD catch with 42 seconds left. John Hall's 40-yarder in overtime, and the Jets down 30-7 at one point, win it 40-37 in overtime.
One of the best passing performances I've ever seen in this league was Testaverde that night, just making one tremendous throw after another.
Lamar Smith, left side, fired up Jet defense, loose football. The Jets say they have it, and they do.
Could the Jets come out and take advantage of what the offense gave them? Some momentum, some emotion, and Sean Ellis, number 92, makes the hit and causes the fumble. Comes across, good hustle, all the way from the other side. Lamar Smith not ready for the contact. And boy, Herman Edwards can't believe it. Everything he wished for is happening.
The defensive lineman that has probably gotten the most heat has been Sean Ellis. His performance so far this year, nothing like it was a year ago.
Well, it's not fair, though. In training camp, Sean Ellis played inside a defensive tackle. That doesn't work, so they move him out to end when the season starts. You can't expect a player to do well when you do that.
Martin, right side, following a block, breaks through to the 5. Oh, touchdown!
I thought for a second Herman Edwards was going to go down there and jump in the pile. He got down to about the 10-yard line. But a nice deceptive. Oh, it's not a trap to the left side. It's a reverse to Curtis Martin to the right. Kevin Mawai out in front and just hard running by Curtis Martin for the touchdown. Oh, boy, he is running with a purpose. Protects the football, runs between defenders. What a shot of emotion from the Jets to get this crowd and most of all their team and the defense back into the game.
The second half is less than 4 minutes old, and Curtis Martin has 64 yards. John Hall to add the extra point. The New York Jets have come out of the locker room with a purpose. Trailing 17-0. They've narrowed it to 3.
On CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 36. Nextel, how business gets done. And by Snickers. Hungry? Grab a Snickers.
To say that this crowd has come alive would be the understatement of the year. Curtis Martin, the first Jet since 1991, for a rushing touchdown in 5 consecutive games.
You won't believe this, but I actually kind of like hearing that cheer for the Jets, because in professional football, you usually don't hear things like that by the home crowd.
Short kick, Chambers from the 20. 30, and trips up, and is down between the 35 and 40-yard line. And we'll have a moment to remind you our NFL.com interactive poll for today, the AFC Central race, one of the league's best. Which team will win the division? Log on and cast your vote at NFL.com. Head coach Herman Edwards. Always a good idea for the head coach and your star running back to be good friends.
Well, if I was Miami, they got good field position. I think I'd look to make a play in the passing game, and a big one, to get the crowd settled down and the Jets defense.
Feeble throws far side, has his man Gadsden, and Gadsden is wrapped up. But that'll be about a 7-yard gain.
That's a nice play, because just hand the football off, too much emotion and everything else going on with those defensive linemen for the Jets. So take advantage of some one-on-ones on the outside.
I know we talked about him in the first half. How about Oronde Gadsden? Arthritic toes, pains him every time he steps out on the field, and he gets the job done as well as any wide receiver in the league.
He does. Big receiver.
To the 49-yard line. Lamar Smith looked to be held up. Marvin Jones drags him down, and it'll be 3rd and 1.
Yes, it is. See, I got to double check. That is the Jets defense, Greg, that's in the backfield making that play. Because it's what a difference, but that just shows you how things can change. One side of the ball, the Jets offense got the Jets defense excited, and now they can really play with that emotion.
And now 3rd and short, Ray Lucas in at quarterback for Miami. Smith and Dyer behind him. Smith, first down across midfield into Jet territory to about the 48.
Well, that is just some hard running. And Greg, you said it earlier in the telecast. Dion Dyer is a devastating fullback and a blocker at fullback. He just plows it up in there. Just gives Lamar Smith enough room to run it in there hard and get a first down. And boy, Dion Dyer was trying to get a piece of Marvin Jones. He ducks behind some tackles, but not close enough to the line of scrimmage to make it.
First down from the 48. Fiedler back in, calling signals. Short pop over the middle is complete to the 45-yard line. Mo Lewis and Marvin Jones in on the tackle. Clock continues to move as we come up on 8.5 to play in the 3rd quarter, and this game is suddenly no longer the runaway that it was when the first half closed out. Gadsden to the top of the screen. McKnight to the bottom. The give is to Lamar Smith. Nothing doing. James Ferrier, Steve Martin combined.
Well, the defensive linemen to stop the run always kind of have to do a good job. But Herman Edwards was telling us the other day, the one thing that's kind of bothering him, the linebackers are the strength of this Jets defense. James Ferrier, Mo Lewis, Marvin Jones have got to get closer to the line of scrimmage and make tackles when the opportunity is there. They've been too soft, not aggressive enough, and that's causing some big runs by the opponents. Here they come.
Fiedler out of the shotgun. Steps up, throws, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Chris Chambers. Aaron Glenn was right with him. But what a bullet Fiedler threw.
Hey, what a job. The Jets pressure the quarterback, and watch Jay Fiedler step into the pocket. Doesn't panic, stays in there in good position, and a perfect throw. The rookie Chris Chambers hits the pads and bounces off.
Matt Turk punting for the first time today. Craig Yeath calls for the fair catch and makes the catch at the Jets' 13-yard line. That's where Vinny Testaverde will go to work when we come back to East Rutherford.
My name's Kerry Klemecki, and I change light bulbs.
Kerry Klemecki is one brave man.
It does get kind of windy up here.
But would Kerry Klemecki ever be brave enough to get car insurance without a State Farm agent?
Car insurance with no State Farm agent? Now that scares me. Woo!
When it comes to car insurance, be like this State Farm customer and get an agent you can rely on.
It's Larry, your State Farm agent! Come on up!
Plus competitive rates.
Access NFL.com now on America Online. Get live game day coverage and real-time stats at AOL keyword NFL.com.
It is here that you will witness a tradition unlike any other. The Masters on CBS Sports.
You look at the second half possessions. The pitch from Martin. Tries the right side, has running room. Here's first down, close to the 30-yard line. Brian Walker ran him out.
This Jets running game, I knew it was good coming into the game. I've seen every one of their games so far this year, but they just do everything. They got draws, reverses, counters, traps, and that time it's a sweet Kevin Mawai, the center. Richie Anderson out there leading the way, and Curtis Martin is getting 7-8 yards up the field before the Dolphins are making contact with him.
100 yards rushing, 104 to be exact for Martin on the day. Richie Anderson. And Anderson out to about the 28-yard line. We were just talking during the last break, Phil. How does a game turn so quickly? You see the Dolphins, how dominating they were in the first half. A couple of things happen, and it's a different game.
Miami is not desperate anymore, Greg. They're leading, so their mindset changes. The Jets are behind. You've had, even when you compete against somebody, when you fall behind and you got to change things to get back in it, you do it. Professional athletes, the difference between good and bad is so close that it's hard to dominate an opponent for the whole course of a game. We're seeing that now.
Martin. Patrick Surtain makes the stop. The Jets getting right back into this game with 2 touchdowns in a 28-second span at the start of the second half.
Well, the Jets, too, I said in the first half, Miami, you've got to be a good third down passing team when you want to run the football. The Jets, they run the football, so you've got to be good at 3rd and 2. Hey, They could run it here. They could throw it. If you're the defender, it's just you're just guessing if you think you know what they're going to do.
Let's see what Paul Hackett's bag of tricks holds here. On 3rd and 2, the fake, the throw, Richie Anderson wide open, first down and more out to the 42 or 43-yard line. Arturo Freeman made the stop.
Well, this is a play that Paul Hackett probably put in the first day. Fake the sweep left and watch Richie Anderson come all the way across the field underneath. Fake it to Curtis Martin. There he comes across the field, and it's so typical. Paul Hackett has been in this coaching football for I don't know how many years, a lot of years, and I guarantee he's run that play 2,000 times over the course of those years.
Richie Anderson setting a team record for receptions by a running back a year ago, makes his first catch of the day. The pitch from Martin, cuts inside a block, spins forward. And no gain on the play will make it 2nd and 10. Darrell Gardner, Jason Taylor making the stop, and there he is.
The mad scientist. You know, Paul Hackett never really talks to people like us, but we asked Herman Edwards. Herman Edwards made him come in, and the conversation started out, thought 5 or 10 minutes, and about an hour later, he leaves the room. And as he left, Herman Edwards came in and goes,
I told you so.
You got what you deserve. What do you think now? You'll never ask for him again. And it was so funny. And it was an hour well spent.
Testaverde over the middle. Incomplete. Penalty markers fly. And this looks like it is against the Dolphins.
Holding against the Dolphins. You know, when Dave Weinstedt told Armin, I'm thinking about last year.
Holding, 29, defense, 5-yard penalty, and an automatic first down.
Sam Madison.
Watch Wayne Corbett as he goes down the field. Here he is. He usually goes across. This time it's a fake going up the field, and Sam Madison just held him for too long.
Brock Marion, incidentally, has a strained calf muscle. His return is questionable. He's on the sideline now. Arturo Freeman, number 27, is in at safety for him. Lamont Jordan in the backfield for the Jets. First down. Testaverde eludes the charge. The throw downfield, incomplete, and there's a marker. Matthew Hatchett working against Surtain.
Couple things. What a job by Vinny Testaverde stepping up away from Jason Taylor.
Pass interference, 23, defense, first down.
Watch Jason Taylor. Here he comes around the corner. He can move as fast as anybody in the league at defensive end. Testaverde throwing deep. Perfect coverage by Patrick Surtain. That's a pretty tough call. But he did not look back for the football, maybe quick enough.
That's a 32-yard penalty. First down from the 21. Anderson inside the 15, and a marker is down.
Look, I didn't see the flag.
Illegal formation, 74, offense. He was lined up in the offensive backfield. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That's right tackle Ryan Young.
Ryan Young, so he was not on the line of scrimmage. Let's see if we can spot him. Top of your screen, and his helmet, well. That's why I was saying, why is he back so far? Well, you could see why. He was pulling to lead the run, and when offensive linemen have to pull, they have a tendency to cheat back so they can get around the other lineman beside him.
Martin looking for running room. There's another marker. 4 straight plays with a penalty flag thrown. this is a hold, and the Jets doing a pretty good job of putting the brakes on themselves here with under 4 minutes to play in the third quarter.
Holding, 71, offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Barry Jenkins, the left guard.
Now, if they throw a few more flags, I'm going to go home tonight. I'm going to be able to do Walt Coleman's voice really well. I won't do it for you right now.
I thought you were.
No.
All right, 17-14, 3:41 to play here in the third.
I'll do it during a commercial, and you tell me if it's worthy enough to go on the air.
Actually, I've heard it, and I'll tell you right now, the answer is no. Now, we had a chance to stop and talk with Walt and his crew downstairs. First and 25. Testaverde. All kinds of time. Throws incomplete, almost intercepted by Sam Madison.
Sam Madison has about as good as instincts or just a feel for the game. You know, you're born with some of these qualities, and he has it. He comes all the way from the outside. He's watching the quarterback. Testaverde looks inside. He drifts across. He's near the sideline. Comes across. Look at that. And it's right at him. He has made so many interceptions that way.
This is Gerald Soule. And Soule to the 32.
Well, what the Jets have got to do, and that's one of the reasons why they ran the football in a situation like that, second and a long way, is that you want to make sure you pick up enough yards to give your field goal kicker a chance to tie the game.
Something to keep in mind as the Jets begin to consider field goals. John Hall suffered most of the week from back spasms.
Greg, nobody cares. You understand?
I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, I know. But see, when you're playing, and tomorrow they're not going to say, poor John Hall, his back hurt.
Third and 21. Testaverde, quick pass, Martin. And Martin trying to get to the 25, ducks inside and is about at the 24, a 7-yard gain.
It's like when you do a game and you're not feeling well. You think we have any pity on you?
No, I've learned that from experience.
Just get out there and get it done.
Here's John Hall onto the field.
Nice play by the Jets, though. Pick up about 7 or 8 yards. The chances of making this field goal, they go up dramatically. Well, without saying, the closer you get.
This will be a 43-yard attempt as Hall and the Jets look for the tie. The kick is no good. .137 to play. The Jets come up short and still trail by 3. Games on NFL.com, and after the games, in-depth analysis and recaps from the experts only at NFL.com. Your AOL keyword, NFL.com. Minute 37 to play in the third quarter. Miami from their own 33. They come out in a double tight end setup. Fiedler fakes to Smith. All kinds of time. And now throws to the sideline here, and he has his tight end, Jed Weaver, across the 35, close to the 40-yard line. Here's Jay Fiedler's mom and dad, and dad's still wearing the same duds.
You know, got the hat on backwards.
He had it on backwards at the beginning of the game.
No, I know, but, usually you got to be like a young kid to do that, right?
Or a catcher. Under a minute to play in the third. 6-yard pickup makes it 2nd and 4. Fiedler pump fakes. Running out of time, throws down the field and out of bounds. Dedrick Ward, the intended receiver. And Sean Ellis just about got to him.
Something interesting Jay Fiedler told me last night. He goes, we went up to play the St. Louis Rams, and we thought because of what they did on defense, we would run the football really well. And we didn't put in that many pass plays. So when we didn't run it, we didn't have much to fall back on. He says, now, even though we think we can run it against the Jets, because we put in a lot of pass plays just in case. So we get in a situation, we have something to go to and we can throw and have success.
Travis Minor in motion on 3rd and 4. Out here, it is incomplete, intended for the rookie running back out of Florida State. And the Dolphins will kick it away.
Well, I know what, if I was the coach, I'd be telling these Dolphin players, get some shoes that work. Because twice, Chris Chambers and Travis Minor slip. They go down. The ball is still perfect, but they don't make the catch.
Mike Westhoff, special teams coach for the Jets, and for so long, the special teams coach from Miami, told his players, Matt Turk is a really good punter. This one is a wobbler down the field. And Craig Yeast avoids a couple of tackles, comes up the sideline, and is knocked out of bounds at about the 24-yard line. 44-yard punt, 7-yard return. The Jets back on offense after this. CBS, first down for the Jets from their 19-yard line. Testaverde, quick pass, has his man out over the 35 to the 38-yard line. Tight end Anthony Beck. 14 yards and a first down.
If you're a Jet fan, you really got to like the progress the Jets offense has shown so far this season. You know, doing a lot of things well, running the football, protecting the quarterback, and we haven't even talked about it. Testaverde still has yet to throw his first interception of the year.
This was the quarter that the Jet offense came alive. Curtis Martin led the way with 78 rushing yards and a touchdown. And at the end of the third quarter, the Dolphins 17, the Jets 14. We'll come back to the Meadowlands after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL. You know darn well head coach Herman Edwards is aware of him as well. And so is Dave Wanstead. First down from the 37, the pitch for Martin. Following his blocking, breaks it outside, out to the 43-yard line. Zach Thomas, Brian Walker, and there's a marker down.
Man, that Jet offensive line, they're bullying. They're just being bullies right now. And of course, that's what you'd want them to be.
There's a face mask against Miami.
Kerry Jenkins, Kevin Mawai, Richie Anderson leading the way.
Incidental face mask, 45, defense, 5 yards, still first down.
But you know, Greg, we're looking at Herman Edwards. Boy, it looks a little different than he did in the first half, but I don't know how you felt. We were with him before the first game, and we met him on Friday. We talked with him for quite a while, and I could really sense a difference in him, how he's changed already. The experience he's got in the first few games, I thought he was absolutely a little more convinced of what he wants to do with the Jets and how it's going to work out. And he says, maybe I don't show outward emotion. I don't call players out in the papers. But trust me, I have them up in this office, and they understand, you know, what's right and wrong once they leave the room with me.
Two tight ends on first down. Martin again. And across midfield to the 48-yard line. And let's go down to Armin.
Greg, just to follow up on Phil's point, what Herm was talking about, he basically says he's got this list, and he said there'll be some casualties on this football team next year, and rightly so. He said some players think they're just a little better than they are. Their personas are bigger than the way they play. He said, as Phil said, people think I'm too weak to make these decisions, too nice. My will is very strong, stronger than people realize. Back to you.
Thanks, Armin. 2nd and 7. Testaverde to Beck. And Beck is hit and met at the 44-yard line.
See, that's a case in point. Know what you are, right? Who'd we hear this from? Al Groh. The old coach of the Jets, Bill Parcells, used to tell us, if you're a giraffe, be a giraffe. Now, what I'm saying is, Anthony Beck, you're not a dodger. You're a big bruiser. Run over people. Don't try to dodge them. So it's a case in point he forgot who he was.
I can't wait to tell Parcells you got him confused with Al Groh.
Oh, he'll be glad. They're both thin.
3rd and 3. Testaverde on the roll. Has time, throws a bullet, and that's at the sideline, and that's complete.
Oh, that is just being a pro. That's the little things that can make you different from everybody else. And Wayne Corbett, it is covered down the field, gets on the sideline, puts his body in front of Moreland Greenwood, and just makes the catch. Just got himself in a position where the defender couldn't come around him and make the play.
Every bit the possession receiver that he is. Corbett showed it on that play. First down, Jets at the Miami 38. Clock continues to move, coming up on 12:45 to play in the fourth. Play fake. Testaverde steps up, looks, throws, has his man, Coles to the 25-yard line. That's another first down.
38 years old, and he might have, well, there's no doubt he's got one of the top 5 arms in the National Football League. And this is what he couldn't do last year. Move around the pocket, on the move, and look at that ball. I could hear it hit Lavernius Coles from here.
Testaverde now 11 of 16 for 111 yards and a touchdown. And on the field is Kenny Mixon, who was giving chase on that last play. We'll come back and check on him right after this. Testaverde's second half. Consider Jay Fiedler in the first half was 15 of 18 for 147 yards and a touchdown. Fiedler working on, Testaverde working on similar numbers here. Play fake, stepping up, has time, throws towards the end zone, touchdown! Lavernius Coles!
Movement in the pocket. Testaverde, I was going to say run because there's nobody in front of him, but watch how nimble he is in the pocket. Has to step up, keep stepping up, avoids 2 potential sacks, and then throws a strike to Lavernius Coles. And you know what? You cannot blame, oh, that's just nice hand fighting by the wide receiver. Sam Madison's trying to hand fight him. Lavernius Coles, an ex-running back in college, is strong, hard to manhandle him that way.
Hall's extra point is good. 20-17, the New York Jets. Vinny Testaverde has brought them all the way back. They lead 21-17. Chambers gets a hand on it, but it goes through his hands and out of the end zone. Let's watch Lavernius Coles on the receiving end again.
Well, we saw how he got open. Hand fighting with Sam Madison. Testaverde looked down the middle, then looks outside. Wow, the ball went through his hands, hit him in the helmet, and he caught it second time. You know, the big thing now, the Miami Dolphins, can somebody make the play? The difference for their offense, besides not running the ball as well, the receivers are not getting open like they did in the first half against the coverage of the Jet corners.
On the ground, Lamar Smith. No gain. 2nd and 10.
Jets now crowding the line of scrimmage, kind of daring the Dolphins to throw the football. But it's just, I know it's professional football and we see it all the time, but the difference physically in the Jets defense in the second half it's startling.
5 wide receivers. Fiedler works out of the shotgun. Throws down the sideline, incomplete. Hunter Goodwin, his intended receiver.
Jay Fiedler just got to be patient, read the coverage. Robert Conrad to his right. Nobody covered him in the flat. Would have picked up a first down. Instead, he looked for the big play down the field.
Now Travis Minor onto the field with Chris Chambers and Dedrick Ward. Chan Gailey. What comes out of his bag of tricks here on 3rd and 10? Over the middle, complete. And still on his feet is Gadsden over the 45 to the 47 and a first down.
That was a very nice read by Jay Fiedler, picking out the right person to throw it to and putting the perfect amount of touch over the linebacker in front of the safeties. It almost looks like he's limping sometimes when he runs down the field.
And we saw another player slip. Marcus Coleman slipped on the cut. 47-yard line, first down.
That's the play the Dolphins need to get him going.
Fiedler throws it back this way. Lamar Smith. And Smith will go nowhere. Nice job by Marcus Coleman. Rick Lyle came over to help out. And we check into New York and Jim Nance.
All right, Greg sitting here with Mike Dickey. He says nothing breaks a team's spirit faster than a block punt. Alex Bannister of Seattle blocks the ruined punt, scoops it up, runs it back for the touchdown. 31-14 Seattle, third quarter. Back to Greg and Phil.
All right, Jim, thank you.
Special teams, giving up a big play in special teams. I think the statistics are about 85 to 90% of the time you lose a game.
Second and 14. Fiedler over the middle, just across midfield, and hits his man, Dedrick Ward. And they're looking at about a 3rd and 6. Clock continues to move, 9.5 to play in regulation.
The Jets have been resting number 94, John Abraham, here in the second half. He just trotted onto the field. Now the Miami Dolphins got to come to the line of scrimmage, and I just see them. They're pointing out, where is 94? And if you don't have anybody to block, you'll find him.
Fiedler throws up the seam, incomplete. Dedrick Ward, the intended receiver.
Well, they double-teamed John Abraham, keep him off of Fiedler. And John Abraham, watch. Harry Swain's got him, and look. Todd Perry, number 75, was going to help out if he came inside.
Yeast back at his 10-yard line. Oh, what a punt by Matt Turk. Fair catch called for. He lets it bounce to 5. And it'll be down by the Dolphins at about the 4-yard line. So, fine punt by Turk. 45 yards. No return. Team reports. Go to cbs.sportsline.com or AOL keyword CBS Sportsline. The Jets starting from deep in their own territory. First down from the 4. Curtis Martin. Not much.
Greg, you know, we've been watching Vinny Testaverde. Well, 0 interceptions in 162 pass attempts, and it just didn't happen. He's not lucky. Ever since Herman Edwards has taken over, Paul Hackett has charted every single throw that all the quarterbacks made in mini camps and training camp and in practice, and they look over the stats at the end of every week after every practice, and they've concentrated on the fact, don't throw interceptions.
Jason Taylor knocks that pass down, and it'll be 3rd and 9.
And you know what it says? You never get careless, even in practice. Like, oh, coach, I won't do that in the game, even though I did it here. So they're getting what you would call perfect practice, doing it the right way, and it's really showed in the decision making and the throwing of Testaverde so far this year.
Ball is at the 5. Jets have converted 3 of their last 4 third down attempts. Testaverde flips it out of the end zone. One-handed grab by Martin, and Martin up to the 14-yard line. He's close to a first down.
What a catch. What a move. Okay, Eagle Eye, tell me.
Too many people in the way. Walt Coleman's going to call for a measurement.
Well, when they first started walking across the field, I said, oh, he's going to get it. But I don't know. Can they walk a straight line for 30 yards? It is really close.
7:49 to play here in the 4th. Jets would love to retain possession and improve on the field position.
No, they don't want it.
First down.
It's a big play. Keeps the Jets going. Changes field position even if they don't continue to drive. Curtis Martin, one-handed grab. And let me see, a little fake to the right, a fake to the left.
Right around Zach Thomas, who was in what he thought, I'm sure, was perfect position.
Oh, got them both.
Clock is moving again, 7:40 to play. Jets with 15 first downs here in the second half. Martin left side. And is thrown for a loss. Jason Taylor and Derek Rogers over there.
That's a nice play by Jason Taylor. He's one of those guys that I'm sure every team says, well, he's really a good pass rusher. You can tell by looking at him. He's tall, 6'6", real lean, and let's run at him. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, it sounds good. And then you get out here and you run at him, you go, wow, he's pretty tough too. There's a reason why he goes to the Pro Bowl and the Dolphins sign him to a big contract, because he's good at everything.
Double tight ends in for the Jets on 2nd and 10. Testaverde with time, throws, Quebec. First down, New York, just across the 30-yard line.
Nice route by Wayne Corbett, well designed. Corbett comes in close to the formation. Usually that means you're going to go across the field. He fakes inside, goes out. Perfect throw by Testaverde.
Back up field, Jason Taylor is on the ground at the 9-yard line.
Jason Taylor is number 99. Look to the top of your screen. All the way on the outside. Jason Fabini is blocking him. Well, they are pushing. Look at the turf sliding. Have no idea.
Well, as they continue to check on Jason Taylor, we'll take a timeout. 6:23 to play in the fourth.
It's here, kids!
On CBS is sponsored by KFC. There's fast food, then there's KFC. And by Best Buy. For the latest technology, turn on the fun at Best Buy.
6:23 to play in the fourth quarter. Jason Taylor walked off under his own power. Jets at the 31-yard line. 243 total yards for the Jets here in the second half. Testaverde's thrown for 145 in the second half. Martin is wrapped up on the far side. Let's check in with Armin Katayan. Armin.
Greg, if you're curious about what Herm Edwards said to his team at halftime, I found out that he wasn't so much fiery as he was impassioned in his belief in his players. He said, we can do this. We can do this. I've got the ultimate belief in you guys. It seems to be working out, obviously. They believe in him as well. Back to you.
And Armin, at the same time, I'm thinking Miami Dolphins fans, either here in the stadium or back home, must be sitting there and going, what happened to the game that we so totally controlled in the first half? 2nd and 11. Testaverde stepping up, trying to get away, and goes down at the 18-yard line. Lorenzo Bromell, who is in for Jason Taylor, came up with the sack, the third of the day for the Dolphins, and now Taylor comes back onto the field.
Well, just a lot of things for the Dolphins here. They definitely have decided they're going to try to get after the quarterback, be more aggressive, take some chances, and Lorenzo Bromell gets the sack. Big play. If the Jets don't get the first down, the Dolphins will get better field position. That's what they were looking for in that second down play.
A big 3rd and 20 facing Testaverde and the Jets here as we come up on 5 minutes to play in the fourth. They give it to Martin. Martin cuts it back and is brought down to the 25-yard line. Bromell and Zach Thomas were there to meet him.
That's a good call. Jets did the right thing. You're not going to pick up the first down.
So now Tupa comes onto the field to kick it away.
Miami has 3 timeouts. 4.5 minutes to go. Could be their last possession.
Wobbling kick down the sideline, out of bounds, not Tupa's best. And Jay Fiedler and company will have pretty good field position. We want to remind you tonight on 60 Minutes, what kind of men will it take to get our hands on Osama bin Laden? Men just like the ones you will meet tonight on 60 Minutes.
Well, we saw Jay Fiedler a few weeks ago against the Oakland Raiders, Greg, week 2 of the NFL. Had 2 minutes to go and drove his team, I don't know, I'm just going to say 80 yards for the touchdown. So this is much easier. 57 yards to go for the touchdown and 3 timeouts in 4 minutes and 20 seconds.
Fiedler throws far sideline, has his man. That's enough for a first down. James McKnight with his first catch of the day inside the Jet 45-yard line, 13-yard pickup.
We have seen this play today from the Miami Dolphins, but again, here's what I'm seeing. Watch Aaron Glenn. He reads it. He sees the quarterback, good position, and just no footing. He slips. McKnight slips when he's going up the field. The sidelines, we've seen quite a bit of that today.
From the 44. Fiedler outside. Oh, what a catch by Oronde Gadsden to the 38. Now, if anybody is going to have hands big enough to pull in a pass, it's Oronde Gadsden.
Great. The biggest pair of hands I've seen on a receiver by far, but to the outside, he jumps, gets it in his fingertips, and oh, there you go.
That hand is Armin Katayan's hand.
Those are about 2.5 inches longer than Armin Katayan's hand.
That'll be short of the first down. Lamar Smith being wrapped up by Marvin Jones, the middle linebacker.
But that's why Oronde Gadsden is still in the NFL, really, because he's a big receiver, uses his body, and he has those big hands, so he can make those type of catches. And you know, the smaller receiver couldn't do it, and if he couldn't do it, he'd be working somewhere else.
Here's an interesting third down call. The Dolphins have not had many problems coming up with innovative calls on third and short. This is a big one. On the sneak, Fiedler appears to have it.
You could tell by the body language when Jay Fiedler was walking up to the center that it was going to be a quarterback sneak, because his walking up kind of nonchalant, goes on a quick count because he wants to get that half a yard before the defense realizes he's got the football.
And we're going to get a measurement. But he appears to have enough for the first down. 2:23 to play. Each team has all timeouts remaining. That's the first down. Mom and Dad approved.
Well, they look pretty calm.
It's early yet.
Early.
Clock is moving. Fiedler batted down.
Boy, Shane Burton, this is what keeps him in the league. We talked about Oronde Gadsden, but Shane Burton knocks down as many passes as any lineman in the league. I think last week he knocked down 4. First one today, though, I think. He says, I take 2 steps to the quarterback. If I know I can't get there, I stop, read the quarterback size, and try to knock the ball down.
2nd and 10. To give to Smith. And Smith dragged down at the 32. Ellis and Burton combine as we hit the 2-minute warning. When we come back, another big defensive play for the Jets.
play catch.
Against the Oakland Raiders, Fiedler took the Dolphins the length of the field in just over a minute and a half, and with less than 5 seconds to play, dove into the end zone to give the Dolphins a come-from-behind 18-15 win over the Raiders. Now, 2 minutes to play, 3rd and 8. Travis Minor is in the game. Fiedler, flush from the pocket, going to run for a bunch. 20, 15, 10, and is knocked down at the 7. It'll be 1st and goal.
The Jets are playing man-to-man coverage. When that happens down the field, nobody is looking at the quarterback. Nobody responsible for him, and that's why it takes so long. Look at that. For the defenders, oh no, he's running the football. They're not covering the pass receivers. It's too late when they see it.
1st and goal from the 6. Pump fake, throws. It is batted into the air and intercepted. Intercepted by the Jets.
That is just a point. It was a Rondé Gadsden. Jay Fiedler's throwing it to, so he just has belief that his guy is going to go up over everybody and catch it, but it's double coverage. He is doubled right from the start. I don't know if Jay Fiedler saw Marcus Coleman. No, Marcus Coleman was on the inside, on the outside. Damian Robinson comes from the inside.
Coaches like that sort of thing, don't they? 1:10 to play. The Jets looking to run the clock out. Dolphins have 3 timeouts to stop the clock. Martin down at the 18, and timeout is called. 1:05 to play. 2nd and 11 when we come back.
Both wide receivers. It was going to be a double move by Rondé Gadsden. He was going to fake inside and break back to the outside, but he knew. He saw both defenders. He did the right thing. He tried to split them, but since it's down near the goal line, there was nowhere to go.
Marvin Jones' 3rd interception of the season. Testaverde keeping it. Throws out here. Back to the 24. And Miami calls timeout again. That's their 2nd. 58 seconds on the clock.
They came.
Well, Greg, if the Jets find a way to win this football game, you can say a lot of things. It really came down to their offense just came out and dominated play in the 2nd half. And they did it against a pretty good defense, but a defense that has shown a few holes the last couple of weeks.
3rd and 5. Testaverde to the outside, batted down, incomplete. Patrick Surtain was there, and the Jets will kick. How about this day for front runners in the AFC? The Miami Dolphins losing with 54 seconds to go. Denver getting crushed at Seattle, and the Baltimore Ravens a loser at Green Bay.
The whole league is going to be 3-2 after the day if this happens. But hey, let's don't. It's not over. 54 seconds. Miami still has 1 timeout.
Tupa. It bounces.
Oh, nice job of stopping
Ogden. And Ogden just short of the 50-yard line.
That was really good by Jeff Ogden. That ball is going to bounce and roll down the field. He got in position just in case it did that, and he catches it right off the hop. Watch this. Gets right behind the football, waits for the bounce, right to him. 10, 15, probably 30 yards in field position.
42-yard punt, 14-yard return. Here's what Fiedler is looking at. 46 seconds on the clock. He has 1 timeout remaining, and the line of scrimmage is the Miami 47. And here we go. Fiedler wrapped up and goes down. Sean Ellis.
Yeah, Sean Ellis gets the sack, but John Abraham, 94, he calls it. He made Jay Fiedler step up, and Sean Ellis fell in for the sack.
2nd and 13. Fiedler going deep down the right side. Intercepted. Victor Green went over and picked it off.
I got to tell you, the Jet coaching staff gets about as involved in a game as any of I've seen in a long time, and they are excited, and what a turnaround for this team in the second half.
Sean Ellis and John Abraham being met at midfield by members of the coaching staff.
It looks like Chambers is going to get the ball, and then all of a sudden, Victor Green comes out of the middle and makes the interception. I thought it was going to be complete. Nice catch by Victor Green.
And Herman Edwards, defensive back extraordinaire in his day, can appreciate that as much as anyone.
Got a penalty on the field.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, 95, defense, 15 yards, first down.
That's Tim Bowens, who is now walking slowly off the field, helmet in hand.
The New York Jets, again, they give themselves a chance to win by just not having turnovers.
Jay Fiedler intercepted on his last 2 passes.
Boy, Jay Fiedler probably played one of his best games as a pro. From start till the last 2 passes were about the only bad plays he made the whole football, or the whole game.
Make it a 7-game winning streak for the New York Jets over the Miami Dolphins. Herm Edwards, Dave Wannstedt meet at midfield. Once again, our final score, the Jets 21, Miami 17. Coming up next, except on the West Coast, stay tuned for 60 Minutes. That's next here on CBS. For Phil Simms and Armin Katayan,